Summer League is now over, and we got to see a glimpse of the talent from our young guys. Although it is just Summer League and we can't make too much out of it, there are some things that we learned from it. Max Christie is a legitimate NBA player. He looks great on both ends of the floor. He was solid in staying in front of his man and contesting shots on defense. He looked excellent as a spot-up shooter, hitting his open shots. And he showed that he can create his own shot, getting to his spots quite easily and converting from the mid-range. And he's able to use his body and physicality to score around the basket. He was the best player on the floor for most games. He was definitely the best player on his team. And that's to be expected from a guy who's had 1 year in the league playing against rookies. But that doesn't always happen, and it's nice to see Max is making that progress. And I think we've seen enough from him to say that he deserves a spot in the rotation. Not just from what we've seen in Summer League, but that combined with his play last season. Although it was only for a few minutes here and there, he looked very comfortable playing in the big league. He didn't look lost or anything. He already looked like a solid perimeter defender. And he was an excellent spot-up shooter. He shot over 40% from 3. So I think he's ready to be a 3-and-D player that can play meaningful minutes in the rotation. And probably the biggest reason why he'll make the rotation is the Lakers don't really have anybody else. Outside of Austin Reaves, Christie is the only shooting guard. Now the Lakers prioritized having positional versatility, so there are definitely guys that can step in and play the two. Guys like Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, even Cam Reddish. But if we're talking about true shooting guards, it's pretty much just Max as a backup, and I think he's ready for the task. Jalen Hill was a solid pick at 17. He started off Summer League a little slow, but he got comfortable pretty quickly and looked solid. He looks very comfortable being the lead guard and taking over the offense. And he's a really big guard and uses that to his advantage. On defense, he uses the size and length to contest shots. And on offense, he uses it to finish over smaller defenders. Now, his biggest concern coming out of the draft was his three-point shot, and that's still an issue. And I think it'll come along. His shot's not broken or anything. He just needs the proper training and conditioning to get those NBA legs to consistently hit the three. At this point, he's not good enough to make the rotation because his strengths are as a ball-handling guard, and the Lakers already have 3 guards that can do that better than him. And that's not even counting LeBron. So he still has some work to do, but the Lakers got him for the long term, not necessarily for his impact this season. So he's solid. Maxwell Lewis didn't have a great summer league, but he did show flashes of potential. I think he has the highest ceiling of the rookies, maybe even over Jalen Hill. He showed off his athleticism, being able to get to the rim. I was very impressed with his quick first step. But he's not just an athlete. I was impressed with his decision making as well when he did get to the rim. He was able to set up his teammates for easy shots. I think his ball handling is an underrated part of his game that allows him to create his own shots. And he's shown the ability to knock down open threes. So he'll definitely play a role in this league down the line. Colin Castleton seems to be another undrafted steal for the Lakers. He has a classic big man game. He's able to score around the basket, has some post moves, he can hit the mid-range, he protects the rim. He's not much of a three-point threat, but it seems like that can be developed. But what's really impressive is his playmaking ability. He actually led the Summer League team in assists. But he's not just passing out of the post. His ball handling skills allow him to lead the break and set up his teammates for transition buckets. I'm not sure if he can make the rotation or even the main squad, but the Lakers are in need of another backup big. And Castleton doesn't look like a bad option right now. Moy Hodge was another surprise, and I can see why the Lakers got him on a two-way. He says he models his game after KCP, and I can totally see that. He's pesky on defense, he's a streaky shooter. At times, he looks like an absolute sniper. The Lakers are pretty guard-heavy, and I don't think he'll make the rotation this season, but he looks like he'll be a legit NBA player in a few years. Overall, it looks like the Lakers found some real NBA talent in the draft. But outside of Max Christie, they haven't played an actual NBA game yet. So we don't know for sure how they'll do. But from what we have seen so far, they look solid. And I think the Lakers have a batch of young talent that can be part of their organization for years to come.